Hey guys, this is another BMW modification tutorial for an E46 BMW. Today we're going to be showing you how to install Bavarian Autosport Stress Bar on your BMW. First thing you want to do is gather the tools for the project. You're going to need a socket wrench with a 1/2 inch socket and extension. You're going to need a small screwdriver and a pair of pliers, as well as an adjustable wrench and an 11/16 inch wrench as well. The project takes about 10 to 15 minutes. And it's a really great installation. So the first thing that you want to do is unwrap the new stress bar. This one's actually made of aluminum, and the benefit of a stress bar is better handling, better for your suspension, and it also helps with handling around corners and turning as well. So basically the stress bar connects to the strut towers in your BMW and secures the front chassis better. So here you can see the passenger side strut tower, and the first thing you're going to have to do is remove the gasket trim from the junction box and hood switch section of the hood. So you can see the junction box is going to have to be temporarily removed and pulled out so that we can have enough clearance to add the stress bar. So what we're going to have to do is remove a rivet from the junction box, and that can be done simply by pulling up on the junction box to remove the entire assembly. In our case, the rivet is actually broken, so it's not going to be easy to show you how we did this, but all you have to do is lift up on the assembly, as you can see in one moment. You just lift up on it and it'll pull away from the rivet and it'll leave it in place there so you can install it later again. So you just want to push that up out of the way so that you have the clearance to install the new stress bar. So what you're going to have to do is remove the bolts that are currently on the strut tower, and basically the bolts are soldered to these washers, so it's like a one piece thing, and you just want to remove all three of them from each side. So we're going to remove the ones on the passenger side first with the 1/2 inch socket wrench, and we're just going to go ahead and loosen those and then just take them out by hand, and we're going to do that for all three of these. Okay, so then we're going to have to do the same thing over on the driver's side. We're just going to remove the 3 bolts here, and we also have to remove this this trim piece as well so that we have the clearance for the wrench on the driver's side. And the trim's really easy to replace, so don't worry about that. And we're just going to loosen these bolts too, and we're just going to put them right here on the front here so that we don't lose any bolts. You don't want to do that. Okay, so now you want to go ahead and position the stress bar. You just want to line up the holes in the stress bar with the bolts that are in the strut tower, and you can do that on the other side. You might have to twist the stress bar so that you can extend it a little bit, and then you just want to go ahead and secure the stress bar. To start, we're just going to put them on hand tight, just pretty loose, but just to hold it on place, make sure it's the right width and everything, and then we're going to go ahead and tighten it up after. So we're just replacing the bolts here, and you can see that's what the stress bar is going to look like across the chassis, and it's made of aluminum. It's pretty solid. It's a great product. So we're just going to use our 1/2 inch socket wrench once more, and we're just going to go ahead and tighten these bolts. We're not going to tighten them all the way. We're just going to get them pretty tight, like hand tight there, and we're going to do that on the other side as well. So you can see we're just tightening them, and you might need to use the extension for some of them. And then once that's done, once it's in place, just going to go ahead and tighten them as much as possible. You don't want to strip any bolts or anything, but you just want to get them pretty tight. You don't want it to be going anywhere. So we're just going to go ahead and do that to the other side as well. And again, the extension is very helpful for some of the tight spots. Alright, and now you want to adjust and tighten your stress bar. You can see on both sides there's a bolt right in the middle that can be adjusted. It's got a bolt with a head and then a nut on the back. So you want to take your adjustable wrench and put it on the front of the bolt, and then take your 11/16 inch wrench on the back, and you just want to go ahead and tighten that up as much as possible. And this is on both sides of the stress bar. You can see another view here, just tightening it as much as possible, and you can do that for the other side as well. And this just locks the stress bar in place. And now you want to go ahead and replace the trim and the junction box that we took out before. You can see the stress bar is very tight, it's secured and all bolted on. And we're going to replace the driver's side trim piece. You just push down on it. You can see that there's a little bit of a groove there, and that just lines up right with the metal. You just push it down on top. It just protects everything underneath the hood. You want to make sure it's in place. Then we're going to go ahead and we're going to replace the junction box as well. You're just going to put the rivet right through there. Obviously our rivet's broken, so we're going to replace it with something else. Then you just push the trim piece down on top, and basically you're finished with the installation. You can see the stress bar looks really great. Definitely adds support and increases the handling performance of the BMW.